Welcome to Josh's presentation. This is our fall workshop series. So now until probably next summer, every month we'll have a different workshop that you can come to and learn completely free information. So tonight happens to be on heart rate training and what Polar has to offer. Next month is going to be on Tabata training. And then after that is women and strength training for weight loss. So, and then we'll get into December, January, where it'll probably be more nutrition and those sort of things related. So lots of good information. Josh Thompson's going to be presenting to you tonight, and Josh works for Polar, but I've known Josh for years. He used to work for equipment sales here and would sell us equipment that you would work out on. So you guys probably know Josh in one way or another, or have worked out on a piece that he's sold to us here. Josh worked here for a while as a personal trainer and then got hired on with Polar, and now he'll tell you exactly what he does, but gets to travel around and learn lots of cool stuff and try out the latest and greatest. So Josh Thompson, thank you for coming.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yay. Thank you, Ryan. Yeah, I have to say I really appreciate this opportunity, and thank you guys for taking the time out. Hopefully we'll keep you interested. I know it's a technological type of subject, so it can ebb and flow in excitement, but if I see your eyes glaze over, we'll take a time out and do some jumping jacks or something. But really, to me, it's one of the most important subjects and topics, not just because I represent this brand, but because it's your heart. It's not my heart, it's your heart. You've only got one, and it's with you for the rest of your life. So listening to what it's telling you and paying attention to that can really help you in your day-to-day activities, your workouts, your goal planning. All of those parameters kind of funnel into whatever your goal might be for your life. So that being said, I'll kind of jump right in. This will be explained as we get into the lecture, but I just wanted to give you a little graphic to get your brain thinking a little bit about different types of intensity and what it means to work out at different levels. So the topic is entitled Smarter Training Starts Here. And this is a little bit of an introduction that we'll talk about. History of Polar, heart rate basics, what is it, what does it mean, heart rate versus pulse rate, why all of that's important, hands-off learning experience, you'll understand that. What is a zone anyways, how do you find your own, because it's different for everybody. I have worksheets here that we'll hand out, we'll cover as well. Where you should be for your workouts, and that's something that will kind of help you think about. I won't answer that for you tonight, but it's definitely something that will start you thinking about what your goals and where you should be are. You'll learn about yourself through this product and through this information. Trainers in here, raise your hand. Okay, 3 of you. So you have a chance to maybe think about working with the trainer. Hopefully it's a review for all of them. And they can take you down that next level of incorporating this into your workouts. And then we'll incorporate that with fitness equipment, and then we'll talk a little bit about the product, just so that you have an understanding. Sound good? So Polar, who we are. We started in 1977 out of Finland. So we are a Finnish-based company, and I represent the US branch. So we don't really have a lot of say in the product technology and development. They kind of give us what they make, and then we hopefully can steer them down the right direction. But it initially was designed for their alpine team, their cross-country training program, so that they could kind of hone in their exercise intensity versus just the coach saying, go out, see you later, come back, hope you had a good workout. They needed something to actually measure their intensity, to figure out what their body was doing. So that's really the crux of where it came from. It's the #1 most recognized brand in heart rate monitoring. We're in over 95% of all the pieces of fitness equipment out there. So whether you know it or not, you've used our technology. The little silver hand contact things on fitness equipment, that's our technology. So it takes your heart rate, transmits it on the screen for you, and helps you understand what your body's doing. We're the only medically validated heart rate monitor in the industry. So there's a lot of different brands out there that says, hey, lose the chest strap or just do a 2-finger touch business. None of that is proven like a Polar heart rate monitor will be. because of the research, the backing, and that medical validation certificate that we've earned in the fitness and health industry. And it's the only heart rate monitor that transmits underwater. So for those, if any of you do water aerobics, that can be an important feature for you. Water tends to unload the body, so it's not as intense. So how do you know you're working hard enough? Put a chest strap on, and that can start to give you those bits of information to know if you're doing the right thing. How many of you, show of hands, are brand new to heart rate monitoring?
I'm new to
A few? Okay, you might have heard of
I'm
it, but
familiar with the concept. I do that with myself on the machines, but
Perfect.
I'm new to this kind of stuff.
okay, great. So we'll just square one. A heart rate monitor is a wrist unit that you wear on your wrist, and it has receiving technology, reception technology to radio waves that are transmitted from the transmitter. So you wear that around your chest against your skin, and what it's doing is picking up that heart rate signal and transmitting it in real time to your wrist unit, right? That in its essence is a heart rate monitor. We have 15 different models, but a lot of different colors, so hopefully we can suit your fancy with whatever style and model you like. All right, so here's a test question, first one of the night. And for the prize, get a handy dandy polar bag. Heart rate versus pulse rate. Can anyone tell me the difference?
I have an idea.
Go ahead.
I'm probably way off. Heart rate to me is looking at movement and recognizing where your heart beats and as it changes and develops. Pulse rate to me says resting pulse rate. What you would normally have.
Close.
When you're hanging
That's
out.
halfway right. Halfway right. So very close. We'll have another opportunity for test question. Thank you for answering. Expand on that.
Heart rate is the rate with the that heart has when it beats. The pulse rate is when you have the blood circulating through the vessels, exactly through your veins on the wrist or this vessels here, and it reflects the contraction of the left ventricle.
Sure. Stop right there. Perfect. That's more than we need. So we'll get you started her off on the right foot. So we'll give you a water bottle, and then there's that. Very good.
Well,
So,
thank you.
Very good description. Basically, pulse rate is what we do. If I say check your pulse, what do you do? Right there, right here. There is a ton of spots on the body. Earlobe, behind the knee, your thumb, a lot of spots. What you're doing is you're palpating or feeling for the pressure that blood is being exuded on your arterial walls, right? So you can feel that, right? So when you get into a heart rate, y'all have seen the little wiry wave before. QRS wave, I should know that, it totally went out the brain. Regardless, it's that electrical signal that happens within your heart. You go into the hospital and you get an EKG, you have the stickers on your chest. What that's sensing is that electrical emission that your heart gives off, or an echo, if you will. When you have a chest strap around your torso, this is for the winner so I can open it up. When you have that chest strap around your torso, right, there's little electrodes built into that chest strap, like an EKG, so it senses that emission your heart's giving off, and it transmits that into a little signal from the transmitter straight to your watch. So that is 100% accurate every beat, every time of what your electrical emitted heart rate is going to be. So why do we have all the silver hand contact pieces on the treadmills? Why is that information important? I'm gonna make sure I'm not getting ahead of myself. Okay, yeah. Follow the slides, Josh. You don't need math, right? So when you're palpating for that pulse, usually you have to go, okay, got it. Now start counting. 6 seconds, 10 seconds. There's a lot of different equations you can use, but now you're having to think about it, multiply. I don't like math. I like to look at my wrist unit and say, boom, 150 beats per minute. I know it immediately. When you stop and try to find that pulse, if you find it, your body's already going into recovery, right? So your body can recover anywhere from 20 to 40 beats within 30 seconds. So if you're saying, hey, I wonder if I'm at the right intensity, stop on the treadmill, I'm at 120, I should work harder. Should you? You might have been at 150 and you didn't know because you were already recovering. So know immediately, or if you have the chest strap, it also works with the fitness equipment. So you can see right there on the fitness equipment right away, 150 beats per minute, or wherever you're supposed to be. The other reason why it's important is that we do more than just hear that beat, leapt up, leapt up, leapt up. Because of that electrical emission that I showed you on the previous slide, that's like your fingerprint. That actually means something to each individual, your level of conditioning, if you're overtrained or undertrained, if you're stressed, it's going to behave a certain way, and that's unique to each of you. So just to say, oh, I've got a pulse, wherever it might be, I got a number, that doesn't tell you very much. With our product, with this device, it can enlighten you to a lot more data points, which we'll cover in a bit. It reveals to you your body's RPMs. So if we look at our body like a car, right? I love running stores because this is the best example. They have everything you need to outfit your car, right? You've got clothes that you can buy, summer, winter, it's like your paint job, right? What color are you gonna choose? What you put on the outside. You've got your fuel section, your gels, your bars, things like that that supplement your inside or your gas. You go in to buy shoes. It's the wheels for your car, right? For your body. You want to have the right tread. It's like, well, okay, put all that together, and now how do you know how hard to push the car? Could you be going pedal to the metal? Do you need to back it off a little bit? Well, you need something to gauge your RPMs. That's what a heart rate monitor does. Does that make sense? We also call the RPMs for your body your training zone, which is that first slide with the guy running. He was at 5 different zones, and we'll cover a little more of that. Car exam.
Charger Chevette.
I was wondering who would guess that. You don't want to be the guy on the right side, to where if you're exercising or you do all of your fitness without that monitor that measures your RPMs, eventually, at some point, you're either going to get injured or overtrain and just run out of gas. You hit the wall, so to speak. So knowing how hard to push yourself, anybody can go 60 miles, right? Would you rather do those 60 miles at 60 miles an hour in 5th gear or 1st gear? You know, 1st gear, you're going to be burning your fuel up like crazy. You're going to get fatigued way quicker. Versus 5th gear, it's much easier, but you know that. Maybe occasional 4th or 3rd gear to pass, you know, whatever you need to do. But think of your body like that. The heart rate monitor tells you what zone or gear you're in. Does that kind of make sense? Make it a little more kind of palpable. And the biggest one is that it's a hands-off experience, right? So yes, you've got the hand contact, whether it's a treadmill or elliptical, but guess what that does? It anchors you, and it puts you into either a forced range of motion. Hopefully the equipment is biomechanically nice, and a lot of them are. Treadmills though, that's my biggest pet peeve. So trainers, talking to you guys right now, have you ever seen somebody walking along?
Oh, yeah.
And then they get to a run or they get into an incline, still hanging on, right?
You remember him?
I do.
Sorry.
So that didn't do anything, and for those that may have done it or might have seen it, I don't mean to pick on anyone, but if you let go, you're now having to balance for yourself. You're getting a much more total body workout, exactly. You're using your core a lot more. And then if you have the chest strap, you can just do quick glance. All right, I'm doing good. I don't have to anchor myself to that piece of equipment. So a lot of benefits to having it hands off.